Let's kick it.
Well, they look like they're having fun. We're just here for the cold. I mean, it's not Antarctica, but it is sub-zero, and that's what we're going for, to test the power of the puffer, and which will keep you warmest this winter. This could be our unofficial national uniform.
They're like wearing a sleeping bag.
How long have you had that puffer jacket for?
Oh, about 3 years.
Going strong?
Yes, it's absolutely wonderful.
How did you pick that?
I like the colour.
Something for every man and small dog.
Good boy.
We like to rug him up so that he's just as warm as we are.
And it's a bit of a surprise to some in the business.
I thought it was just going to be a bit of a fad.
Blair started making puffer jackets 30 years ago.
I was making them for like friends who were climbers and trampers, but I thought I'd just have a bit of a feed for a year or two and they'd just, like most things, would come and go. But yeah, they've carried on. Now everyone's got them.
The jackets here at his Christchurch workshop are made by hand.
We generally cut them out one at a time here. Esper takes from there basically. She sews the pieces together, the down goes in, and then the garments gets finished.
The puffers are filled with European down. That's the soft, heat-trapping fluff beneath a goose's feathers.
Warmth comes as a combination of the quality of the down and the quantity you put in.
You know you've got the good stuff if the down jacket scores high for its loft value or fluffiness. Fluffier down is able to trap and retain more air to keep you warm.
750 loft is a high lofting, and that's probably more than enough for any New Zealand winter conditions.
Loft ratings range from about 400 to 900, but just because one jacket has a higher number doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be warmer. The amount of down matters too.
So obviously if you could make a jacket out using a very high loft down, like an 850 loft down, and if you had just a very small amount of down in, it's not going to be very warm.
So for a jacket my size, this is how much down will be going inside. As for what's on the outside,
Well, that's really important because for a start, it's got to be downproof, and a lot of fabrics aren't downproof.
what do you mean by downproof?
Feathers can't come out through the fabric. Like you wouldn't want a feather coming out through and that happens on cheaper fabrics.
Ideally, the material will be waterproof too.
You get your down wet, there's really no insulation.
With that in mind, we hit the shops. We picked out 4 entry-level puffers from different brands. Down jackets from Kathmandu and Macpac with the same 600 loft value. And synthetic ones from Cotton On and Glassons filled with recycled polyester. All the same size with no hoods. You can usually nab a bargain on these, but at full price, Kathmandu was the most expensive at $350. The black jacket from Macpac was $280, Glassons in the green, $90, and Cotton On was the cheapest, $70. Now let's see how hard they work for warmth when put out in the cold. So I'm going to take this.
Yes, and stick it here.
We've called on Professor Mohammed Farid for his expertise in thermal engineering. In our case, measuring how well these puffers can resist the outside temperature.
When you move, when you do exercise, you generate a lot more heat. So what we are going to try here is try to stay still, which is not easy. It's going to be difficult for both of us, so that we can have almost constant heat generation. And we are going to measure the temperature near the surface of the body, as you see.
We could see how the jackets responded differently to the change in temperature.
It's almost stable now, 19.1.
But it wasn't easy to get accurate measurements. So, for results we could really trust, Mohammed tested them back at his lab at Auckland University. They've built this special system which generates heat similar to a human body. The Glassons jacket was the warmest of the 4, recording the biggest temperature increase between the inside and outside of the jacket. Macpac and Kathmandu came in equal, with a 15 increase for both. Cotton On came in last on 12 degrees. But another thing to keep in mind is the jacket's weight. Although Glassons wins the warming award, it was also the thickest and heaviest, by 300 grams.
There's a compromise between the weight of the jacket and its ability to insulate the body. So some jacket may be reasonably acceptable insulating, has a good insulating capability, but can be heavy, which means inconvenient.
The Macpac was the lightest, just 490 grams. Kathmandu slightly more at 550, while Cotton On and Glassons weighed in over 760 grams. Macpac told us it's happy with the results.
Our Halo jacket is designed to be worn as part of a layered system for use in diverse environments. For a comparatively light garment, it has performed well against the heavier jackets. First, lightweight jackets are easier to pack. Second, when made with high quality down with a high loft rating, they generate plenty of warmth without the feeling of being weighed down.
Kathmandu said without knowing the finer points of the test, it's hard to come to a conclusion.
What we can say is that a good puffer jacket isn't just the warmest puffer jacket. While we prioritise warmth, one of the reasons we use 600 fill power is that it offers such a wide comfort range, generally much wider a comfort range than a synthetic fill jacket. Some of the warmest jackets that Kathmandu has ever made have also been among the lightest.
Glassons was pleased to offer an affordable alternative.
We are really happy to be able to deliver a lower environmental impact quality product. We feel recycled polyester provides a more ethical and lower impact to down or virgin polyester.
And Cotton On chose to say nothing at all. Of course, every body is different. There's no one fit when it comes to style and survival.